Hey guys, it's Microfry, and we're back on Hypixel Skyblock. There's been a huge new update to fishing and achievements, and today we're gonna take a quick overview of everything that happened so you can get going as fast as possible. First, we're gonna go over achievements, and you can look at that by just going into the Nether Star, the Skyblock menu, and then clicking on your Hypixel profile, and then going into achievements, and it's right on the top, Skyblock achievements. We can see there are a ton of them. So, scale the spider's end. I don't really know how they would track that, but interesting. And then they've got a bunch of them, like with speedster armor, discover all areas on the main island. Yeah, so drink an adrenaline potion. So they've got a lot of them, and then there are also tiered achievements, which are basically just, it looks like the skills, and then the top level is just 25 of the skills. Huh. So that's pretty cool, and it just gives you achievement points, so no in-game bonuses for Skyblock, which is kind of annoying, but still pretty good. Then the bigger part of the update, the part that actually applies to Skyblock, is fishing. So the fishing, first thing, all the collections have been expanded. Like raw fish now goes up to 9, and they added fishing bags, which are basically just, you go into your Skyblock menu, and then where like the quiver, potion bag, talisman bag would be, there's now going to be a fishing bag. And you can store like any fishing items in there. And I think they're pretty big. Why can I not take this out? Okay, that's weird. But, yeah, you can get a fishing bag from the raw fish collection, and then raw salmon, you can get, oh, there are a bunch of new rods. So the speedster rod is the one you can get from raw salmon, and it's not that great, but it does give you speed when you hit a monster, and also increases fishing speed. Yeah, and pufferfish, there's not really much you can get except for this spiked hook, which deals 5% more damage to monsters, like when it's fished up. So, and there are new. I'll talk about sea creatures later, but let's go through all the collections now. The Prismarine Shard and Prismarine Crystal. The Prismarine Shard had nothing added to it, but the Prismarine Crystal, you can now get a Blessing Book, which is 5% chance to get double drops when fishing. And I assume that goes up to level 5. I'm not exactly sure yet, because it's only been out for a little bit. Then the bait, you can see, bait is a new thing that was also added that is consumed when fishing, but can give you like a higher chance to get like a fish faster or double drops, as in this one. So they're pretty good, and you can also fish up bait just by fishing normally. And then clay, nothing. Oh no, a lot has been added to clay. So there is the respiration book is now in clay, and you can also get frail, which means sea creatures start with 5% reduced health per level. I think that also goes up to 5. And then farmer's rod is pretty good. You just need, it increases the speed by 40%, and you can fish up farm animals, which is pretty cheap to make. It's just an enchanted clay, stack of hay bales, and 2 string. And then probably the biggest collection is lily pads. So they have spooky bait, which is not that good because you kind of want sea creatures. Blobfish hat, not very good. And the healing talisman, it increases healing by 5%, so pretty minimal. But I would go for it if you don't, because just having an extra talisman is always good. But then once we get into the rods are the really good part. So the challenge rod increases sea creature catch rate by 5% and increases fishing speed by 50. Like, that's insanely good. And to make that, you just need a fishing rod surrounded by a stack of lily pads everywhere. And then the Rod of Champions is just a challenging rod, but surrounded by enchanted lily pads. And that makes 10% chance to catch sea creatures, like increased rate. And also increased fishing speed by 60, which is very good. And then the Rod of Legends is the best rod in the game. And it's a Rod of Champions surrounded by 16 enchanted lily pads everywhere. So that's probably going to take a while to get, and you're going to have to do a lot of fishing. The ink sac is, I don't know, I don't think it's that good, except the bait ring seems pretty good. 5% chance not to consume bait, so if you have one of the really good baits, that could be pretty useful. And then angler is pretty good, increases chance to catch sea creatures by 1%. That's pretty nice. And let's see. Depth caster 1, a 1% chance not to consume bait. That's also good, along with the bait ring. And then sponge. Sponge, the best thing you can really get. Oh, sea creature ring. Take 10% less damage from sea creatures. That's also good. And then the sea creature talisman. I assume that, yeah, 5% less damage from sea creatures. And the main thing in sponge, though, is the sponge armor, which doesn't seem that good. I mean, it's pretty good defense when you're in water, but besides that, I don't think it's really worth going for, because you need a lot to craft it. So, yeah, I would not say that's worth going for. And then I saw that angler armor. So this stuff's pretty good for fishing. It increases the chance to get sea creature by a lot, and it also decreases the damage to it. So I think that's definitely worth to get, and it's really cheap. So I'd say definitely go for that before you start fishing a lot. Yeah, so that's the main collections for fishing. So now I'm going to talk about sea creatures. So to see the sea creatures, all you have to do is type /sea creatures. Wait, what? Maybe I spelled it wrong. Oh my god. Yeah. So, to see the sea creatures, they also added in sea creatures to the game. Sea creatures are just monsters that come from fishing. And to see all the ones you can, fish up, just do /sea creature, no spaces, oops, and it should pull up this menu. Oh, you can also do /scg if you want. That's a lot easier. And all of these require a certain fishing level to fish up. So, these ones, I can't get them because it requires, the fishing skill of really high. I don't have that. Yeah, but then you can see these ones, they drop stuff. Like lily pads, prismarine crystal, prismarine shard. And you can just fish these up from fishing. So, some of them are actually pretty strong, so I would suggest having, good armor on when you fight them, because you could pretty easily die from fishing these things up. What else is there? If you're wondering what minion I've been looking at this whole time, they actually added in a fishing minion. And so it works like the other minions, you just upgrade it. I'm pretty sure you upgrade it with raw fish. But let's check. Yeah, raw fish. And so he's really good because he fishes up everything. Like, there's not something he doesn't fish up. I mean, he doesn't get sea creatures. And also looks like he doesn't get lily pads. But all of, like, the fishes he gets. So he's really useful and really helpful. I would suggest getting him down as soon as possible, since there's so much new stuff that you can get. The next new the other new thing that was added in this update was the dark auction. And if you just head from spawn, it's this way. You go into the wilderness and then over the bridge. You're gonna want to go fast past the fisherman's pond, past this, like, the fairy pond, and just kind of head straight until you hit this little house. Yeah, and the dark auction is basically an auction that has, like, new items in it. So the items in it are, you can get, like, a Midas sword, which is plus 200 damage, and also plus strength dependent on how much you bought it for. So you can get plus 80 strength if you bought it for 50,000. I mean, no, not 50,000, 50 million, which is definitely not worth it. Then you can get an ender ring, and that just reduces damage from, like, Ender Dragon, Endermite, and Enderman by 20%. So that one's pretty good, but I don't know, I wouldn't spend that much on it. And then there's, what else is there? There's a flower minion, which is really useful because to get, let me look in here, nether quartz, the solar panel. The solar panel increases the speed of your minion by 25% during the day, because that's just really good for minions. And then, but to really use that effectively, you need the day crystal. Oh wait, no, not the day crystal. Let me look. You need the day saver, which requires sunflowers. And the only way to get sunflowers is from the flower minion. So you kind of need that if you want to make your minions do a lot more and go a lot faster. The other thing you can get from the dark auction that's really good is the, oh my god. Oh, what is it? Oh yeah. From the dark auction, you can also get tier 6 books. So you can get, like, sharpness 6, growth 6, protection 6. So those are something I definitely suggest buying, and they're definitely worth it. They're very useful because you can just make your stuff even better without having to. They're not that expensive usually. I think they go for like 50k, which if you got a lot shouldn't be that much. But I'd only spend it on, like, the really good stuff, like growth or sharpness. Maybe if I don't think efficiency is worth it because you could just get haste and still be that fast. Okay, guys, that wraps up our overview to the new update, the fishing and achievement update. Hopefully it's helped you. Like and subscribe. I'll see you next time, and have a good day.